Well, if there's any idea about what I'm doing here and what this means, pretty much it's doing a bit of some outlines around the F, around the F holes for this instrument. By the way, one video that was a deep verbal explanation of me making wooden driftwood instruments. I'm well aware that the audio is not going on there. I was playing ignorant. I thought it was funny. So when that grumpy feller or whatever came on to comment about you must be blind and deaf to be able to experience my video or something like that, it's okay. It'll be okay. I thought it would be funny to make a video that basically says, check this out, listen carefully, and then I go to do the video. Because I took time to do all of that. Anyway, I'm seeing what I can do here. I have a light in to show the place I'd need to trace around this painter's tape here. Initially, I was going to do it using these right here. And I had an outline via doing that. And I was going to do a color schematic on this guitar, you know, because I can't help but to keep from tinkering with everything, no matter what. I thought about making a gold sunburst with some of this metallic paint and all that kind of thing. I'm not really so sure what I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna have the intent to do it all professional like, and it's gonna have that DIY kitschiness to it anyway, because something's gonna screw on it, but that's all right. Um, just gonna add some more painter's tape on this side. I haven't gone full on with this yet, so I'll see if I continue with it. I mean, it's just an idea to see if I can get a template down anyway regarding this. Thankfully, I can peel up on this, cut around, you know, the ideal place where I think I'm going to do some black and then gold, but I'm leaving some of the sunburst underneath. And it's a process. I haven't tried this before. I'm learning as I go and all that kind of thing, using what I have as per usual. But I think I'm pretty excited about it until it gets frustrating. When it starts to get frustrating, if it does, I'm just going to take a step back from this. Anyhow, I unlisted a lot of videos and then relisted them, and it came back putting old ones up on the front order. And I don't necessarily want them to be on the front. I like the idea of having videos that I don't really like, though, just because it's a moment in time. It's a conveyance of life and everything, so a lot of it was just a lot of stuff going on and all that nerve pain crud, you know, going on and everything. I am waiting for some drill bits to come right now, and I think that me not having the drill bits to get the rest of this Bigsby in, because this Bigsby was said to be messed up. There's scrapes or scratches or something on it. I don't know. I didn't see any. I did take the opposite end of this here and ground into it just so that the ground wire, earth wire, whatever, that's touching this plate doesn't have any aspect of the plating interfering. I didn't go too harsh on it digging through, but on the opposite side of here, I did create my own scratches, you know, and I soldered the, what's that called when you kiss it with some solder? Tinged. I did something to it. I don't know. It's a repercussion of being exhausted all the time when I'm making these videos. But whatever. That's alright. Anyway, so the grounding should have a good connection going on with it and everything like that. I had a horrible situation with this TV Jones harness that I had because I went to put a volume cap onto a potentiometer and it pressed the whole thing right down, you know? So I took all the, and then when I hooked everything up again, I was touching the tone, and this grounding buzz of horror was emitting. So that led me to realize that honestly, I don't like the Gretsch schematic of tone control and volume. You know, I don't. I like the Gibson 50 style or whatever. So I'm gonna try to learn myself how to make a Gibson style volume dial here. As you can see, I already put the extra hole right here. So you can kind of see, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to switch the treble. I'm going to switch the treble up to the top so that when I have a harness ready, I'll have, you know, the 2-tone and 2 volume knobs right there. A thing you could, if I need to reuse any of the wire going on over here from some of this, you know, if I have to cut and splice, rearrange all this kind of stuff, I should have more than enough to make that travel, rather than how it usually is on a Gretsch, where I have to get up to here for the treble, go all the way up. I'm going to do it my own way. I'll have an extra hole right up here that I could just figure out some creative way to just put something. I might put a little spinner up here. I might put one of those, whatever the heck they call them. They had those spinners that were really popular before the world went to all hell or whatever, you know. I might put one of those up there. I might get a fan that could aim at me while I play, so I could have a nice feeling of a breeze. I'm confused and I can't find any answers about this, how to reuse this, because that's the main master volume cap, but it's a different kind of cap, and I think it's a tone bleed, but I really don't know, and I've been trying to look it up, and it's not going to focus on here. It's a bit different. It's on stilts and has a bridge still, like right there. So if I'm doing the Gibson style wiring where you take one volume and then what your tone is going to be and you bridge it with a cap, I don't think that's the appropriate one to do that with, you know. So I have one from here. It's the one soldering thing that actually did go right. I have a very cheap soldering iron and it bunked everything up so bad, and some of those caps look so gross with a gunge of solder left over. But and then I realized I was like working with a really bad soldering iron, so it was a frustrating process and everything. But I did, once I had everything unhooked, all the wires unhooked from one of them, it was a lot easier to clean up with the base of the soldering iron, even though it's crud. But that's what I have to work with, so I'm gonna do the best I can with that. So I think that harness that I had anyway, messing up, I'm going to try to learn as much as I can and take it as a good omen that I'm learning to rewire my own guitar how I want it to be, with the volume the way I want. I don't really fall into that Gretsch wiring to be what I want to do with this guitar. So, that's how it goes. I can peel this up enough and set it back, I think. I don't want to cut into the actual body of the guitar here. And I got the colors I'm going to be working with. If I was going to do a sunburst and I could redo it, I would just leave what's down here already. Go a bit around the black up through here and do like a cherry color. And then, you know, I'm using regular aerosol paint, but I have some gloss that'll just be able to catch up onto having a sheen and a protective layer. So, yeah. It's crazy. You know, any guitar that comes around or anything, it's just like, It happens. Anything that hangs around with me too long, except for that, I don't even want to say. I kept that. There's this. It's called the Stag guitar. I played some stuff with it before. I didn't realize how dark and muddy it sounded until I used some Seymour Duncans in a guitar, and they're just crisp. But you know that Les Paul ripoff. There's some era they're making them, and they were really decent the way that they were. That thing's heavy though. I'm looking at that guitar, but I don't want to show it or anything. But and I have to figure out. That's the thing about what I was talking about with this master tone switch, because I was working as a master tone switch. If I have two volumes and two tones, I think this is, I think this needs to be just redone completely the way it's connected. Because if I'm working on a two volumes type of deal, one for each pickup, then how this is wired already isn't gonna work, I don't think. So I might just have to bear it down, you know. But yeah, trying to basically turn a stupid decision. Can I say that on YouTube? I mean, I'm talking about myself. Can I berate myself, or is he going to come up with some warning thing, potentially hazardous language? Oh no. I'm just trying to say, I really don't want to reel into asking anybody else for any help or paying an exorbitant fee or whatever, you know, regarding soldering and wiring. But my thing about this is that with the I don't know about the grounding. I have a grounding wire in here, and it comes from the tailpiece, and then it was connected to the input jack. And I don't know if I can just bypass that one completely and run from a tailpiece up to the volume for the neck volume right here. Like, I'm trying to figure that out, and there's so many different answers, but there's not really too much written about grounding, you know, where you don't find 50 different variations of an answer and everything. So, because I know that there's a grounding spot on the input jack, but does it mean I have to run both of them or what? Because I'm keeping the one you have to ground the strings, obviously. So I guess I'll figure it out. If it's one of those things where it's all hooked up, I can test it from the outside, I guess, before I drop it through. So, but anyway, this is guaranteed to probably surprise me in some way, and I'm just hoping it surprises me in the best of ways when this goes on. Because I thought that black and gold, and then leaving basically the sunburst color right around as an outline around the F hole would be fun, you know. And that's the whole make it look a certain way thing, and not really the functionability. It's not really having anything to do with like the performance of the guitar or anything like that. So, but yeah, this thing was sold at a price like there was some sort of horrible problem with it or something like that. But some feller had a lot. They buy and trade guitars really often, and I saw this, and I was just like, wow. I was like 250 or something for a Gretsch Streamliner, and it led to be a good base of having something to work with and learn with, you know. And I think I could be really well at soldering. I did work on a guitar, but my grandfather, who was an electrician, helped me out with it. It was that Les Paul ripoff I was just speaking of. On this right over there. But you want to know what that's all about, don't you? Well, I can't even. I had a wire thing go all screwy on that. My grandfather showed me how to solder with it, but he had a decent soldering iron. This one I have is so. I mean, I should maybe even wait a while before doing the wiring and just somehow get a better one. Get a soldering station rather than one that might not have the best reliable. I don't know. I'm trying to get at the right angle for this here. It's just trying to get at the right angle for this. Different making a video and trying to do this than being all at it. I think that does well enough. I have the outline now that'll leave, a nice surrounding around the F-hole, and then have to tape back over through that. Thankfully, though, I can do the paper technique and not have to tape the whole way around. Now's the time that I can do it that way. Draw around it, cut it out, tape it enough for it to hang on as I do a paint job over that. That'll be fine, that'll be fun. It's something to do while I wait for drill bits to show up. Basically the drill bit thing is that I took toothpicks, I filled in the holes of where the old tailpiece used to be, and all that kind of thing. So, and then it's just getting the new screws in through here and having it go straight right through, because those cross pieces for the screwdriver on the screws strip so easy. It's horrifying. So you need a good easy go, a good route right there already. But that's all common knowledge and everything anyway. So anyway, yeah, solid or hollow body guitar. I felt like that's something for my thing, for my style and everything, for when I play, see what kind of expressions can dig in through a hollow body with some compressor hooked up and some delay, old stuff, poem, song, stories, and this and that, maybe be a little bit wild with it. I'm going for that. I'm a psycho with guitars, though. What can you do? It's good to be a psycho about it. You know what I mean? In other news, the awning of that camper I have will not roll back up, and I've been taking like a wrench and trying to get this thing to twist for it to click, and it doesn't click. So we have snowfall coming and all the time, and I've been going up there every time there's major snow and just pushing the snow weight off of the awning so it doesn't rip or screw up anymore. Everything is really cold and stuck where I need to get the right tools to figure out how to get the awning brace system working on that camper. It's sad. I might have to make my own awning or something like that. If the joists, everything like that, stay okay, and it's just the awning part that rips, then I might be able to get something that's like more like a roof, because I love having the awning there, having the shade, having that spot where you can step out and not be rained on and everything like that. It makes a huge difference. So, as far as working on anything else, working on a lot of things. So, and yeah, I'm gonna at that point of no return once I lay some paint down on this and everything. I just, I kind of like this sunburst thing going on, but I just gotta make it mine in a way, I like it, but I don't really. But that's okay, because I'm gonna. And I think it'll be really fun getting this installed the rest of the way. I was it didn't have one. It didn't have a vibrato, so I'd have some vibratos going on. And it's setting me back quite a bit time-wise, everything that messed up, though. But like I said, it gives me the opportunity to learn it my own way and everything, so I might have to get the outer wiring off, though. I'm going to figure it out somehow. I just got to read more and more and look at different schematics and compare them all. And then do that Gibson 50s wiring on this. I love that kind of wiring. Other people don't, but I love being able to just turn all the volume down if I need to, even if it's on both pickups selected. So that's that, I think they're decent guitars. It's nice. A hollow body feels a certain way, and it's just makes me think of that early music, and that's where I'm at. That's what I like. I'm in this modern age. Are you sure? I don't want to hang around in this modern age. It gives me a big headache. I don't like having headaches. Anyway, I won't say more about having headaches because when I was soldering, do it in a well ventilated area. Good man, I had to lay down for a while after that. Anyway, back to work for me on this. We'll see how it goes at some point, maybe, possibly.